culture is not made through policy and procedure manuals. Culture is not made through the, best benefits package. Culture is not made in an organization through the onboarding and orientation process. Culture is made through providing the organization the tools and resources they need to be able to lead and manage and coach, right? And supporting those that are leading throughout the organization. HR plays a major role, absolutely, but culture cannot solely and squarely fall on the shoulders of human resources. Welcome to the BetterCulture Podcast, where we make the clear connection between better culture and better business. This podcast is for leaders who want to build stronger teams, drive thriving companies, and enjoy your leadership role along the way. Now here's your host, Brett Hoogeveen, a leadership and culture aficionado, keynote speaker, and co-founder of BetterCulture.
Welcome back to the BetterCulture Podcast. We're so excited that you're here. Today's topic is an important one, and it's really who makes a difference on culture. I'm your host, Brett Hoogeveen, obviously. We got Kevin Hensel here with us. Kevin, you want to answer that question? Who makes a difference on culture? Who really makes a difference?
Brett, everyone makes a difference on culture.
I knew you were going to say that.
Everyone.
I knew you were going to say that. Yes, and I would agree. Everybody has a role to play on culture, but we're not going to stop there today. We're going to get more specific, and we're going to talk about who makes a difference and how those people make a difference. Sound fun today?
Yes,
Awesome.
absolutely.
Well, here's the idea. Kevin and I have decided that today we're going to play a little bit of a game between the two of us, where we're going to, whoever you are that's listening, we're going to say that you may be in one of four roles. You want to explain what those four roles are, Kevin?
Absolutely. So we've got executive role, right? Could be owner, C-suite, right? Just that top level in the organization.
So if you're an executive or owner, we're going to talk about what you do to impact culture. Okay, what's the next one?
Yep. Then we've got human resources, those human resource leaders falling into that category.
Absolutely. Number two. What's number three?
Number three are frontline managers, or really anyone who's in a management supervisory type role.
So we'll dive deeper into what you do to impact culture. And what's the last one?
And the last one are frontline employees, right? But really that last category encompasses everyone. It's every single individual working in an organization.
So regardless of what role you play in an organization, this episode is going to apply to you.
To you.
Whether or not you're an owner or executive, whether you lead HR or you're an HR manager, whether you are a frontline leader, mid-level leader, or an individual contributor, we're going to talk about what you do to impact culture.
Right.
And here's the twist. You want me to do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Here's the twist. Is Kevin and I are going to do this at a bit of a game where we're only going to give one primary recommendation for each of those four categories of people for what they can do to impact culture. What's the number one thing? Are you game?
I'm game. And we flipped a coin.
Yeah, we did.
Right?
Yes.
Who gets to go first? There's nothing competitive about our team whatsoever.
Right. Yes. This is randomized, right?
So flipped a coin, and Brett gets to go first.
Fantastic. All right.
So Brett, let's talk about that first category. What's the one thing? This is challenging, folks, because we typically have a lot to say. So the fact that we're going to zero in on one thing is going to be quite challenging.
Let's be clear. The fact that we're even going to try to zero in on one thing, I think is going to be interesting, right? So I'll say right up front, I might try to squeak a couple extras in there, but I'm going to give one clear answer, all right? And you're going to do the same. All right. So
first category, executive levels. How do they impact culture? If you listening are part of an executive level team, what can you do?
All right. The one most important thing for executive teams, for executives, for owners, for anyone who's in that senior leadership role in an organization, if they want to impact culture, the number one thing they can do is care. Care about it. Mm-hmm. Prioritize it. if you are just saying the word culture, if you're just saying, of course, people are our most valuable resource, if you're just saying buzzwords, but in the day-to-day operations of your business, it's not a top priority, the way that you treat people, the way that the organization feels, the way that people feel motivated and connected, if it's not a top priority for executives, then often almost nothing else happens or matters inside an organization. What do you think on that one, Kevin?
Yeah, no, I think that's very true. I personally have had experience where there have been certain folks driving culture in the organization, but they've been doing it without the support of executive leadership. And so when those individual roles change, the initiative tends to kind of fade away. So this goes back to our entire point that culture is dependent upon virtually everyone in the organization, but really gets, to your point, kind of set, if you will, from the top.
Yeah. And so what's an example that this might look like? Well, if you have an all-staff meeting and the CEO has a chance to address the group, what do they start with? What is the first thing that they talk about? And if it's a culture win, if it's a rock star that is living your core values, or that is, win above and beyond for a customer or something like that, then you're prioritizing culture. If on the other hand, it's a financial update and then it's, some other things and culture never cracks the list, well, that would be an indicator that you're not prioritizing it. Another thing we see from time to time would be we say the words culture matter, but there are other top executives, maybe the CEO themselves, that isn't actually living those values. They're not modeling it, right? So that could be a self-awareness issue, but most likely it's a care issue, right? It's just not a top priority. Whatever else is the current fire of the day is what has their attention, and they're just not attending to what in the long term could be one of their biggest competitive advantages, which is culture.
Yeah, right. And you think about that from that strategic standpoint, right? Of having a culture strategy that is integrated into everything from that executive mindset of what does that look like for the organization.
When we talk to execs and we say, what's your strategy around culture? And they just sort of look at us like, what do you mean strategy? That's a pretty good indication that, well, maybe it's not top of mind all the time, right?
Right.
So I love it. Okay, number 2, this one's for you, Kevin, all right? What is the number one thing that HR executives, people executives, can and should be doing to focus on culture?
Number one thing, don't own carrying the culture.
Wait, what?
HR should not solely own culture.
Aha. I like this.
HR should be the igniter of culture. They should be spreading the wealth. Culture is not made through policy and procedure manuals. Culture is not made through the, best benefits package. Mm-hmm. Culture is not made in an organization through the onboarding and orientation process. Culture is made through providing the organization the tools and resources they need to be able to lead and manage and coach, right? And supporting those that are leading throughout the organization. HR plays a major role, absolutely, but culture cannot solely and squarely fall on the shoulders of human resources.
I love that answer, Kevin. That is a great answer, and our HR friends will probably appreciate that answer as well. But let me go into detail a little bit on why I agree so much with that, right? Culture is what your team members experience all across your organization on a daily basis. And for 97% of employees on a daily basis, they don't have any interaction with anyone from HR, right?
Right.
And so HR might have an outsized role in some of the strategic things around culture and benefits and things like that, but they can't play a daily role on what does the experience feel like on a team.
Right. But they can be great coaches,
yes,
right? To managers and other leaders who maybe need some guidance.
Yeah.
To your point, right, from that strategy standpoint, they can be the individuals who are finding and bringing the appropriate resources into the organization to help continue to build and maintain and move culture forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they can't be the ones that own it.
Absolutely.
They can't do it by themselves.
HR
Not
shoulders,
a chance.
I don't care how strong and how powerful, those shoulders are not strong enough and wide enough to carry that.
Absolutely. I love that. So the number one piece of advice is don't own it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Make
Be
sure
the
everybody
igniter.
owns it. Be the igniter, not the, I don't know. How do we complete that sentence?
Yeah, not the sole source, I guess.
Not the
right?
flamethrower. I don't know. Not the, be the igniter, not the bonfire. I don't know. But yeah, I love that. That is fantastic. Very cool.
All right, you're up next again. So now we're talking about frontline leaders, frontline managers, those folks who are truly responsible for managing and leading others.
So what's the number one piece of advice?
It is. One, remember.
I'm going to say this in a way. I'm going to try to match you, right? You went a little counterintuitive there. I'm going to try to do the same. I'm going to say for managers, if you want to build a healthy team and a healthy culture, my number one piece of advice, and listen to me on this, okay, is not to treat everyone the same. Make it your goal to not treat everyone the same. Now, Brett, that doesn't sound, wait, I don't understand. That doesn't sound fair, maybe. That doesn't sound.
I love it.
Let's go deeper. So what does it mean? Why do I say not to treat everyone the same?
And you know, one of my favorite sayings is fairness is not sameness.
Yes. Yes. So the goal is to make sure that we're treating every employee fairly, every employee equitably, that we're getting the most out of every employee, that we're coaching every employee. But guess what? I have news for you. Your employees are not the same. They don't bring the same level of energy, enthusiasm, skill set, productivity, commitment, loyalty, positivity. You fill in the gap. They don't bring the same, etc. And so if you as a manager want to encourage the most healthy team possible, there are some employees and some behaviors that you need to encourage the heck out of and celebrate. And there are other behaviors and probably some other employees that you need to say, gosh, if you want to make a more positive contribution here, if you want to help the team, if you want to be successful, you got to work on some stuff. You got to change some things. We need to work on growing some areas. And when I think about team health, one of the analogies that we use a lot at BetterCulture is this idea of tilting the world in favor of your star employees and away from your toxic, negative vacuum employees. And the only way that you sort of tilt the world in favor of your stars and away from your vacuums is if you treat them differently. Now, this does not mean favoritism. This is not anything that's outside of what should be appropriate. This is if somebody's putting in more, if they're giving more, if they deserve more, they should get an equal amount back, right? If someone's not contributing, not meeting expectations, making life hard for everybody else, a manager should treat that person very differently, right? The goal is to shine the spotlight toward the stars and sort of create an incentive for everybody else to want to be more like them, right?
I'm glad you went there, right? It's that draw. How do you maximize those stars' ability to be the positive influencers?
Yes.
Right? And draw those others toward that way of being.
Yeah. And if you make it your number one goal to have a team full of stars, whether you're building those stars or you got to move a few people out, rehire, etc., that is how you create an amazing, healthy culture on your team. You get more stars and fewer vacuums. That's how you do it.
Yeah. And typically those vacuums, when this really starts to come together, those vacuums start recognizing that, hey, something doesn't feel quite right here. Mm-hmm. And they either choose to get drawn towards the good, as I say, right? Yeah. Or, potentially they are out of the organization by their own choosing or someone else's.
Yeah, they're feeling a little bit of that healthy fire that your HR leaders are starting, igniting, right? Yes. And that others are carrying forth to say, oh, I got to shape up, I got to change, I got to contribute more to this team and this company if I want to be successful here. Yep. And that is how culture shapes and improves. So thank you. All right, that one worked out okay. Now we're on to our very last one, okay? We've covered executives. We've covered HR leaders, people department leaders. We've covered managers. Kevin, you get the last one. And the last one is all employees. So
this
what's
one
the
is-
number one thing? No, you can only say one. What's the number one thing that anyone in any role in an organization can do to positively shape culture?
This may be my favorite,
Oh,
right? Because first, it's all encompassing. This is all employees. So what's the number one thing? Show up every day and be the type of employee that you want to work with.
that's a good one.
Right?
Yes.
I it just floors me the way some people will show up, and I'm like, would you want to engage with you? Right? And so show up, right? Be present, be pleasant. It's these are behaviors and attitudes that impact the culture and the dynamic of a team and ultimately ripples out through the organization, right?
Yeah.
Show some recognition, be grateful, right? Be welcoming. These are not difficult behaviors to engage in.
Well, I was just going to ask you to get a little, I wasn't going to let you get away with just be the type of teammate you'd want to work with. I was going to make you go deeper, and you started to do that, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about what that looks like, about what type of team member do people like working with? What are those attitudes and behaviors that are universally appreciated, that make you a star?
Absolutely, right? And we're going to talk in a second about the research that we've done in identifying the 20 most prominent behaviors and attitudes that help people be successful in work and in life. But I love the fact that when we've identified these 20 behaviors, by the way, called our 20 tenets of culture, the number one tenet is coachable.
Yes.
Right? So in order really to be this dynamic team member anywhere in the organization at any level, it's about being coachable, about being able to receive feedback, well-intentioned, and to be able to take that feedback and determine how to grow from that feedback, right?
Yeah.
So that's absolutely number one. I will say that out of the 20, probably my favorite is having a mindset that assumes positive intent, right? So there's a couple of my key favorites.
Let's try something that just popped into my head that I didn't prep you for and I didn't prep myself for. So we have these 20 tenets of culture that are best practices across industries, across organizations for what does it mean to be a star employee? What are the attitudes and behaviors that will help you be successful and help you contribute positively to a team or a culture? It's really a description of exactly what you said, which is the type of employee people want to work with, the type of employee that's valuable to companies. We've identified these 20 behaviors and we call them our 20 tenets. And we make that available to organizations in various ways to help them boost and improve their cultures from the bottom up by investing in the skills of every employee. Here's what I didn't prep us on. Let's just rapid fire, see how many of the 20 we can name.
All right.
Okay. So you said things like coachable, assume positive intent, etc. I'm going to jump in. We'll just see how we do. Being able to have friendly friction, friendly disagreement, intellectual disagreement, etc. Not gossiping, having friends and friendships in the organization, showing restraint when from controversial topics, being tolerant of other viewpoints, other lifestyles, other approaches to things, being able to jump in and take on a scary topic that we call unspeakables from time to time. All right, you jump in. You got a few?
Yep. Own it and fix it.
Ooh, good one.
Right? So when you make a mistake, you're owning it and you're doing what you need to do to be able to fix it. Having fun, being upbeat.
Overlooked, but important. I
Right?
agree. That's one of your strengths, by the way, Kevin. Yeah.
I mentioned welcoming.
Yes.
Right? And that's consistently, I always emphasize, that doesn't mean welcoming when the new guy starts. That's welcoming all the time.
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Being welcoming is like, it's like, setting the table for a nice event or something, right? So you're thoughtful, you're welcoming people into the space, and it's overlooked. It's funny. I've had several top executives mention this to me recently on how we're just not welcoming enough. Like someone comes into the office, someone goes new on the team, they say, it's something specific we got to address with our culture.
Yeah.
So, hey.
Saying thank you.
Yeah, saying thank you. Being PR agents for your good employees.
Absolutely.
Delivering secondhand compliments.
Yeah.
Being kind. Big tough one there, right? Just be kind.
Right.
So,
right.
These are the types of things that we teach. You got any more that you're just itching to throw out there?
Well, what I do want to say, and especially as an HR leader, right? This is the 20 tenets have been so helpful because these are the types of behaviors that oftentimes managers have a difficult time addressing and having difficult conversations around.
Mm-hmm.
They're sometimes hard to identify and make tangible in a conversation.
Sure.
And so these behaviors that we've, through our research, kind of identified as what CEOs are looking for in team members, the behaviors that indeed do make positive relationships and dynamic teams, are also tools for coaching to shift behavior.
Absolutely. Okay. So we went a little deeper on this one. I want to give just an offer to our audience, anyone who's listening, if you'd like to go deeper on these types of things, 2 offers. I'll be generous today. 2 ideas, 2 offers. So specifically to how can you invest in every employee and how can every team member be a better leader from the position that they're in, a better advocate for culture, and how can they just be more successful? I have 2 offers for anyone listening that would like to dive deeper into these 20 tenets. Number 1 is a free offer. We re-released what's called our Culture Kickstarter Pack, and we'll try to put that link in the show notes. It's just betterculture.com/Culture Kickstarter Pack, but I think it has dashes in between. If you just Google Culture Kickstarter Pack, you will find it. This is an amazing free resource that has like everything you could possibly need to run 2 super robust team building development programs for a team. Okay. And it's a beautiful like 25-page PDF download with every resource that we've ever created for 2 of the 20 tenets from our enterprise platform. Did I explain that okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you just Google Culture Kickstarter Pack, you'll find the landing page, throw in your info, download it, try it, use it with your team. This is a great way to just understand, okay, what is Better Culture actually doing with these 20 tenets? How do they help individuals, teams, and companies use these tenets to shape behavior, to grow people, to develop culture? So that's offer number 1. Offer number 2 is we now have a new way. Most of our clients so far that are using 20 tenets use the enterprise system, and that means they shape their whole organization. We have a new way for people to get access to all of the resources for 20 tenets, all of the tenets we described, plus the ones we didn't mention. And that is via our 20 tenets for teams product. And if you're listening to this show, we'll put a link in the description that will allow you a $500 discount on that program just to use with a team of up to 20 people. So if you're looking for development ideas for your people, team building, culture building resources for a small team of up to 20 people, what you really want is 20 tenets for teams. And we'd love just to give you some momentum to take it and try it via our $500 off coupon.
Love it. Both fantastic opportunities to get a taste and to understand, how do I work this into team meetings, into conversation, right? And reinforce. These are the tools, again, that we're talking about that if you, listening, are a team leader, a frontline manager, or an HR leader, here we go. These are the matchstick igniters.
There we go. All right, Kevin, let's recap these 4 main number 1 pieces of advice. You want to do it or you want me to?
I'll jump in.
All right.
All right. So executives, right? Care. HR leaders, don't own it yourselves.
Don't make it your responsibility. Love it.
Third, frontline managers, right? What was your one single point?
Don't treat everybody the same.
That's it.
Yes.
Right? Fairness is not sameness. Don't treat everyone the same. And fourth, all employees, be the employee that you want to work with.
That's right. Work on the way you show up and the influence you have on others. I love it. Fantastic. Well, if everybody listening, Kevin, just picked that one thing that is in their lane, you think they'd help make their organization a better place to work?
Totally, right? It's that ripple effect.
Yeah.
I show up, I start influencing, making a difference, and it just cascades.
All right, there's your prompt for today. Everybody grab your thing, go make it happen. All right, this has been another fantastic episode of the Better Culture Podcast. If you like this episode, please share it with someone at each level. Share it with an executive. Share it with an HR leader. Share it with a manager that you know. Share it with someone who's just a buddy, an individual contributor, somebody that you know could make a bigger impact in their world, all right? Let them know that they make a difference. Culture's not a committee. Culture is a collective. So thanks for joining us, Kevin. You were fantastic today.
Super. Thanks, Brett. Love it.
Take care, everybody. Want to take the next step to building a stronger culture? We're offering a free 15-minute Better Culture strategy call directly with me. We'll take the time to help you identify real opportunities to make your workplace better. No sales pitch, just real advice to help you lead better. Grab your time right now at betterculture.com/free call. Let's make something even better together.